This is your second stimulus check update and your stimulus package update as of Wednesday, August 5th. The good news is that progress is being made on the next stimulus package. The politicians, they're aiming to come to an agreement this week so that they can pass the stimulus package next week. And it is true that the Senate, they are scheduled to go on vacation at the end of this week for 31 days. However, the senators, they are being told that they need to hold session next week and continue working until the stimulus package passes. The progress on the negotiations between Republicans and Democrats, they're going well, so President Trump is backing down on issuing those executive orders to halt evictions and to stop the payroll taxes. This is your Wednesday news, and I hope you're having a great day. One of the top Republican senators, John Cornyn, told reporters that the Senate will be in session next week if the stimulus package does not pass this week. Senator Cornyn said, "How do you think it looks for us senators to be back home when this is unresolved? This is the most important thing we need to be doing." Senators, they are expected to be working next week, but this is not official because Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has not announced an official schedule change, which has the vacation beginning this Friday. But again, it is widely expected that the senators will continue working until the job gets done. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell came out and said that he will support any stimulus deal that the Trump administration and the Democrats agree on. McConnell said that he is prepared to support it even if he has problems with certain parts of it. So let's review how the negotiations are going. The Republicans, they came out with their version of the stimulus package last week, saying that they want to spend $1 trillion. The Democrats, they released their version of the stimulus package 2 months ago, known as the HEROES Act, saying that they want to spend $3 trillion. Now, the Democrats, they're asking for a little bit more, which has now turned into $3.4 trillion, because they say that circumstances have changed since 2 months ago. The White House, which is the Trump administration, they're acting as the negotiators between the Republicans and the Democrats. The negotiations are led by Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin. Steven Mnuchin said, and this is his quote, "We're not doing anything close to $3.4 trillion. That's just ridiculous." The White House and the Democrats, they went issue by issue for 3.5 hours yesterday, and they both made concessions and compromised productively. The White House, represented by Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, said that the Trump administration gave into more of the Democrats' demands than the Democrats gave into Trump and the Trump administration's demands. Nancy Pelosi, leader of the Democrats in the House of Representatives, along with Chuck Schumer, leader of the Democrats in the Senate, said, "Chuck and I are master negotiators." And again, Mitch McConnell, leader of the Republicans, said that he'll support any deal that the Trump administration and the Democrats agree to. Whatever deal is reached, it will face strong opposition from certain Republicans. But if all the Democrats back this deal and McConnell convinces just a few Republicans to back it, then this should have no problem passing the House and the Senate. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin said, "We're going to try to reach an overall agreement by the end of this week so that legislation could then pass next week." So the game plan is to reach an agreement by Friday and to have it voted upon next week. Mnuchin acknowledges that although there is a lot of progress being made through compromises on both sides, they are still very apart on many important issues. The Republicans and Democrats both agree to a $1,200 second stimulus check. They both agree to more money for small businesses and the self-employed through a second round of PPP money. They both agree to the extension of eviction protections. The Democrats are not budging on unemployment benefits. The Democrats, they want to extend it for $600 a week. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin said that the Democrats have dug in and are holding firm on $600 a week. The Republicans, they're getting frustrated because President Trump and his administration are basically agreeing with the Democrats. Mitch McConnell, leader of the Republicans, says that he does not want to extend unemployment benefits for $600 a week. President Trump says that he does. Mitch McConnell said that the most important thing in the stimulus package is liability protection. President Trump, he said, liability protection is not one of our priorities. So honestly, it looks like McConnell just gave up because now he's saying that he's just going to go along with anything that the Trump administration agrees on. The Republicans, they've also now increased their offer for the extension of unemployment benefits from $200 a week to $500 a week. This is from Senator Lindsey Graham's proposal. And that's the current status of the stimulus package between the Republicans and the Democrats and the Trump administration. Let's take a look at the COVID-19 news. COVID-19 cases are now slowly back on the rise, past 50,000 daily cases. This is still below the previous highs of more than 70,000 daily cases. Taking a look at schools, Chicago has announced that schools will have complete remote learning until early November. At that point, the situation will be reassessed for in-classroom learning. A superintendent of Arizona said that if schools reopen, more teachers will die. And more cities and districts are opting for remote learning. This is despite Dr. Fauci and the CDC saying that schools should reopen for in-classroom learning. The CDC director, Dr. Robert Redfield, testified to Congress and said that it's in the public health's best interest for K through 12 students to get back into face-to-face learning. There's significant public health consequences of school closure. Certainly, there is safety concerns for teachers, which is acknowledged by both sides of the arguments. President Trump, he said that older teachers should wait out the pandemic before returning to work in the classroom. That's the news for today. Please subscribe, and I'll keep you updated. I'll save you some time, and I'll give you any advice when applicable. Thank you so much, and please stay safe.